What I continue to learn from this project is that migration is a part of the everyday African life. We need to be able to embrace it, stop tribalism, accept each other for who we are, and try to be a bit understanding of why these people are coming to your city or why they're moving from point A to point B. Hi, my name is X. I'm a documentary lifestyle photographer and creative director. I have been shooting for about 7 years, and the reason I got into photography is because I wanted to see myself being represented and stories that have been untold, or stories that I don't usually hear in the media that need more spotlight, which are stories that I relate to and my friends and family and my community. What drew me to the open call initially was that the projects are going to be turned into a book. I have always wanted my name to be a part of something academic and historical, which I think this book will be. I initially applied for this opportunity because I thought the project was quite fascinating to show or use creativity to show how people move within the continent. Last year, I had the opportunity to visit the northern part of Ghana, Tamale, and I went to Red Clay, which is an art institute. And I was fascinated to see pictures of tattoos on women's arms in the institution. And that just gained my interest in my personal project, which is called Ink Trails. And when I came back to Accra, I started to do a bit more of research, which was going to Mandina and going to Ofadama and asking around, being very interested in the topic of why these women were putting tattoos on their bodies. And I got to know that the reason they did that was because of communication purposes. The north is not the most richest of places in Ghana. So due to that, a lot of these women comes to the capital, which is Accra, to find better economic opportunities. And when they do come in process of transiting, they normally don't have phones. So they'll tattoo their family's name, their town's name, their chief's name, whatever important information that they need to share if there's an accident and they cannot be verbal. So when I went to Ofadama, I met a few women and I got to understand that yes, they're in Accra for better opportunities, but yes, they still miss home and now their family look up to them to send money back home. And these women in Accra, majority of them are considered or known as Kayayei women, which are women that carry goods on their head from point A to point B. And as much as they take goods on their heads from point A to point B, they're a lot of time underpaid, underappreciated by the whole society in the sense of a lot of these women are not educated and maybe doesn't have family backing them up in Accra. So because of that, I saw it crucial to talk about them in this project in the sense of I truly believe they carry the Accra economy on their backs and literally on their heads because they're taking money, which is goods, from point A to point B. As much as their bodies are very important to the job that they do, the tattoos on them will always represent how they're not tied to one place. You can physically see that they're still connected back to their families in the north. Initially, it was quite hard to get in communication with these women, not because they're not everywhere in Accra, but because they're often not comfortable speaking to strangers because remember, they're not from here and they barely really understand the society on this side. So I had to go through friends and reach out to other people, word of mouth, and finally I got a contact in Otfadama. Otfadama is where a lot of these northern women and men stay. When I went, I was first introduced to Fatima, and Fatima is one of the ladies that have the tattoo on her body. She told me about her story, and I had to get a translator because we both doesn't speak the same language. And in the process of doing that, I got to realize that these people are just more than just economic practices. They are actual people. I got to live a life in their life or live a day in their life. And I particularly went on a Sunday because I was recommended to go on a Sunday. Those are their off days. And when I went, I realized they have activities in the evening to like socialize. So as much as they have come here, they still find ways to connect with each other. The reason I chose the name Ink Trail for my project is because the women tattoo information on themselves, which is ink, and trails, which is they're literally following a trail down to Accra. The Kai women technically represents to me all the data that were pulled from all the African cities that are currently being involved in this project. Time means something very different for them compared to what it would mean for you and I, in the sense of, yes, they have had the opportunity to come to Accra, but going back to the north means a lot for them, in the sense their family are expecting them to bring bunch of money or bring bunch of things for them, and with that being translated, then they have to work longer time, in the sense of they're probably like, oh, I want to go back home next month, but the funds are not there, so they have to extend their time to a year, 10 years, and a lot of time these women end up not even going back home. Working under a commission theme such as this was quite fascinating, in the sense of, I love that I was commissioned, but it wasn't so controlled. I love that I had creative control over whatever I wanted to do or however I chose to present these women.